Greetings, my fellow freedom loving thinkers. Thank you for tuning in to LL3 Podcast. My name is Craig, transmitting from the beautiful swampy mangroves of South Florida. And today's date is Wednesday, May 28th, 2021. And yes, I have been a victim of watching the Joe Biden's presidential address, which is the first one today. And I've never seen so much shallowness. It feels so much shallowness of energy in one presidential address in a very long time. And it's funny because they always still had the fashions between Old Glory and Shahir Light is being exhibited, including two-ply mask, okay, just to let you folks know. Of course, the dumbed-down duo of Vice President Harris and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi mingling, and of course, they do the COVID seating 6 feet apart with minimal capacity. First Lady, so what? Harris is clueless on the proceedings because he got Nancy Pelosi giving her the runaround what's been going on. Of course, the second gentleman hack was there. Kamala's bankster husband, and of course, white privilege. Biden presides. They have folks coming in, marching in like from the Supreme before the deans and the Supreme Court justices and his criminal cabinet. All right, I'll give you all that as well. And then of course white privilege Biden came in, of course, and and he said, I'm the first one to address to the Madam VP and House Speaker Pelosi. No one in presidential history announced that. And of course, all those apple polishers, his cronies were applauding. It was pretty bad. They talk about the whole thing on crisis and opportunities, on trying to make America's on the move again. Of course, he wants to do the projection fetish. He achieved the first 100 days, which a lot of his aspects are getting all the credit on the COVID vaccines and so forth. He thanked, of course, I say thanking all criminals, praising all his criminals, the cabinet, of course, praising big government, COVID shots. Yeah, he's just telling everyone to take the shots. It's a patriotic thing you gotta do. So he, of course, the man. He still uses criminal rhetoric, and he's pro-involuntary servitude. All right, so there's no such thing as freedom of choice when it comes to taking the COVID shot. He wants everyone to do it. It's a patriotic thing. You hear all this contradictions, double standards, and so forth? Absolutely. And you can hear that he always uses the same deceptive words, and you think it's great to have people get $1,400 stimulus checks. It's like 85% of the American people got it. Free money. And there's a lot of jobs out there right now that needs to be filled, but the people are better off just getting paid from the government. It tells you how great his economic plan is going to be, And his so-called, talk about his rescue plan and the Affordable Care Act, how great it is. And all these monumental lies just continue. That's how white privilege Biden thinks, okay? He used that slogan, Build Back Better, which, that's the United Nations endorsed. You can look that up, folks. He's a globalist hack. Another bend over Bob to the New World Order, like I've been saying it for all these years about Joseph Biden. And, of course, it has his government knows best. He wants to do the American jobs plan. And he wants everything government sanctioned. It's all government sanctioned positions, federalizing industries. All right, a form of neo-mercantilism. He wants all of us to buy American, which I do. I'm not going to say anything bad about that. A lot of my tools people try to buy everything domestic first, but now I have to hear from him. Come on, he wants to use certain exceptions for these companies, and he wants to use this 8-year program with which is, the American Job Plan, American Jobs Plan, no outsourcing. He says the middle class got America going, and supports unions. And he believes we should have a law to have everyone right to unionize and raise the minimum wage, $15 an hour, more fiat money. no gold and silver backing. Is that pretty astute or what? And it's just and of course with the whole right to organize, so forth. I'm not saying anything bad, but the whole thing is, if you're going to try to do it on a federalized level and encroach on the states, it's going to be a 10th Amendment issue. So that's the 10th Amendment challenge, and I'm just saying that out of respect. And of course he does want to support the Equal Fairness Act, and we need to get more involved with artificial intelligence, getting more involved with technology, getting the chips and support DARPA, and he believes support the DARPA program with national security. He wants to give them the same resources to the National Institution of Health. Very same thing. Of course, talk about ending cancer, which naturally a lot of people can find a way to be healthy and defeat this thing, but they want more federal funding as usual, tax the crap out of everybody. Now I'll continue on here. He believes America do nothing is not an option, so we all got to work together. And he believes in having good relations with CCP President Xi. And then he talked about America's family plan, free education from universities, pre-K plan, and give minorities more opportunities, which blacks, Hispanics don't matter. But it's like, wait a minute, a lot of these people have these resources. Many of them do. And so we're just going to toss more money away, how more federalization here. And of course, he wants to continue for qualified affordable child care, which you got a tax credit for $3,000 for a child under 6 and $3,600 over 6. He wants to extend that to the year 2025. And of course, the American Rescues Plan, what makes it permanent. He wants to keep everything permanent, more, and get more preserve the Affordable Care Act, which is fascistic health care. And talk about now lowering prescriptions. And it's it's fun because I know President Trump did that, but he created the executive orders. Looks a lot of stuff he terminated. I could be mistaken, but a lot more got terminated. So he's like, oh yeah, I'll lower prescription pills now. Give me a break. And 47-year politician that achieves nothing. He wants to get all the credit from other people's dirty work. So he believes that healthcare is a right. So he thinks it's a right. So if you're an insurance company, you are punished. We will have the state do it for you. And of course, we talk about corporate America. I believe they should pay their fair share. And he said about 40 of these big corporations didn't even pay income taxes, and he wants to raise it because originally it was during the Bush administration it was 39.6%, and he wants to get the capital gains tax. They don't want to punish the middle class, but don't be surprised. Remember, folks, it's government. They will find a way of getting that extra money. So when it comes about the capital gains tax, I remember Mike Adams talked about it. He was trying to bring up to 41% of anything you have in stocks. They want that money. Can we say financial Marxism? Absolutely. And talk about we're going to end these tax havens that only benefited CEOs. The trickle down economics never worked. And he uses Club of Rome platform for COVID vaccines, the foreign policies, the climate crisis in Paris Accord, consensus globally, playing by the same playing field on trade. Okay, so all the countries make sure they all get their fair trade. No one's taking advantage of higher or lower. But people still call him CCP Biden, so you figure that one out, right? And of course, bring about having more of a pluralism. You can't just be. There's always got to be a global community on everything now. So, including more status quo, imperialism, and so forth. So he's still going to use that. And of course, human rights. He's talking about human rights and preserve the American idea. And talking about Russian. He still accused Russia for the interference in elections. He wants to work more closely with our allies and in war in Afghanistan, remaining vigilant, and saying white supremacy is a domestic terrorist threat, and exploiting George Floyd's case. Okay, exploiting it, including talk about ending systemic racism, which he's very good at, by the way. Look at the double standards if you file Joe Biden, and he wants police reform under Floyd's name. So we're going to use this guy as a civil rights hero, which I strongly disagree with. And people heard my shows in the past. I still stick to my guns. I'm not here trying to defend Chauvin either on his procedures, because I chat with people in the who are officers, bounty hunters, and so forth, and they said that they followed the procedures wrong. So, but they all make it like he's some great American hero, which is pure sacrilege, as far as I'm concerned. All right, and of course he did the whole COVID hate crime act. Okay, so because combined COVID and Asian hate crime make that as a federal offense now. All right, so Obama's one who's going to be using that. If the assailant is non-white, you're gonna use it across everybody or a particular group. And remember, sometimes these federal hate crimes, these people use a lot of partiality, and it's wrong. Okay, it's got to be across the board. Period. And it's just and of course about the Equality Act, like for all other people, equal work, like everyone should get the same pay. Hey, I believe in the same pay, same work. I don't need a federal government to tell me that. We can do it ourselves. That's why we got unions, okay? I got stagehands want to work side by side. Doesn't matter what they do. As long as they do get the job done, they get the same pay, that's fine. I'm not going to argue with that. And of course, they want to use have them support the Women's Violence Act, which is a lot of things that's really shady when it comes to a woman's right for self-defense. They're trying to deprive on that bill, and there's a lot of double standards here. And of course, he claims that gun violence is an epidemic. He wants to ban semi-auto weapons and ghost guns, which he's talking about has no serial number. And here's the thing, because one thing about to call it ghost gun, which is totally half-assed. You can get parts for certain firearms, and you can assemble them yourselves. You don't need a serial number, and that's even under the exemption of the 1968 Gun Control Act. Okay, that's a fact. If you buy a fully assembled, you have to have, then there's a serial number. But if you buy the pieces, then it's what you call it, another thing. So it's just one of those ordeals. It's totally ludicrous. He wants more power for tyrannical government. So when it comes to these firearm laws and gun reform, who benefits? Organized criminals and tyrannical governments. All you gotta do is study history, folks. And I give you a great fact. When I read that book about Venezuela, about how Venezuela could what Venezuela could do without the United States interfering. And they had gun control way back when, during even with the Bolívar Revolution, when they became independent. The people themselves, the only thing they could have is anything only no higher than .22 caliber. So the government had more firearms, and when Chavez got in, they banned them all. And it's they didn't do anything for Caracas, right? So of course, then they talk about reasonable firearm laws and constitution is an absolute. All this treasonous talk, you can say. Reasonable stuff. So reasonable to me is treasonous, all right? And immigration policies, we need to restore the Dreamers program, and what to do on and restoring the wall and so forth. It's already in the books. Execute. It's already been done. Let's continue it and stop playing around. That's what Biden does. He likes to play around with people, and it's just totally insane here. I could say that. He wants everything fast-tracked for immigration. Right? He wants people, Congress, to try to resolve things for this, and of course he wants the right to vote. He wants people to support the H.R. 1 Act, which is federalized elections, which is totally unconstitutional, especially under Article 1, Section 4 of the U.S. Constitution, and it leaves it to the states, not in Washington, D.C. So he's selling you more centralization, okay? So it's just told too much. And of course, we gotta preserve our democracy. Government still works, and all that good stuff. That's just, and what happened was I was watching on the WhiteHouse.gov site, and I got a lot of it froze, so I had to change it. Went to YouTube, and we gotta stick together, and it was one of the most boring presentations I've heard in a very long time. Joe Biden's not my president. I don't give a damn if you agree with me or not. Because he's talking about the whole election thing, and everyone voted, and people are still mad about the results. It's obvious. All you gotta do, folks, is watch some of the presentations he had. He don't have a lot of people go, "Oh, Joe Biden, we love you." No one cares. Same thing with Kamala Harris. It's all ludicrous. So, we gotta preserve our democracy. We're not a democracy. We never have, never will. Okay, we're a constitutional republic with democratic conditions. A democracy is majority plus one. One vote system. That's it. A constitutional republic has a 3-vote system. And some folks, even on the conservative side, need to start learning these things. And but what's funny was I'm watching on the YouTube. It's so hilarious. It's you have 21,000 people watching on YouTube live, and you got 2.6 thousand people like it, then 6.1 thousand viewers said no. So that tells you right there, unimpressive, invalid, null and void, repugnant to his core. What else can I say about it? Nothing new under the sun, right? The truth of the matter is, he believes, and his lackeys, that Washington, D.C. should take care of all of us. Not the other way around. They want everything federalized. Washington, D.C. has all the answers. That's what he's presented. And all the cornballs that applaud it agree. Well, that's my intake on it. That would be it. I thank everyone for listening. Plus, feel free to download and share us throughout your social media networks. Any questions, comments, or interesting, want to check it out. Whatever you do, please send your correspondence to the quorum. Furthermore, there's no footnotes, just me ranting for all this period of time. And if you want to email me, hit me at lookyourluck03@protonmail.com. Or if you want to donate, you can get me at paypal.me or cash.app/LokiLuck3. All right, that's all for now. Once again, thank you for your time. Plus, always remember that the demoniac resistance is healthy for the soul and can liberate humanity. Until next time, take care of yourselves, keep on spreading love, and may your guardian spirits be with you.